was focusing on me. He was focusing on her. He was mocking her, and he was telling her like, "Oh yeah, Jesus, Jesus." He was telling her like that, and I went like that. Boom! I hit him on the head like that. Boom! And he went. He fell on his knees, and when he fell on his knees, he came up. He was like down like that, and he came up, and he was like an evil wild cat. That's what he looked like.
He's demonic.
A Burmese wild cat. That's what it was. That's what it was. A Burmese wild cat. That's all I could think of what it was. And he was yelling like, you know how cats yell. He was yelling like that. And I kept just yelling, "There's power in the name of Jesus. Power in the name of Jesus." And yelling and yelling at him. And all of a sudden that cat, the cat, his back broke like that. And he fell over, plop. Just like that, plop. And everything got silent. Stillness. Just the stillness. And I was still saying it. But I was whispering it this time. I just kept whispering. I was like, "There's power in Jesus. There's power in Jesus." And all of a sudden I heard, "Ooh, ooh," like that.
It was him? The human, not the evil spirit.
Picked him up. Picked him up and I hugged him. And that was the dream.
Wow.
But in the dream, I remember when I was in that mosque, I saw through a doorway a courtyard. In the courtyard, there was a millstone. You know, grinding wheat. It was a millstone, and the rays of sunshine were shining on it. And I don't know what that meant.
Millstone is like a bondage. Could be. Wow, it's like very
I thought I
specific.
told you that dream. And I told him I was crying. I was crying with. I was crying with him. I go, "It's okay, brother. It's okay. It's okay." Yeah.
Good dream.
So I don't know. That was a long time. That was many years ago when I had that dream. Before me and you got married.
I really don't have. So far, the only dream I could remember was my apocalyptic dream.
Yeah.
So far, that's the only thing that stood out.
That was a powerful dream too. So in that dream, I thought to myself, "Does God want me to go there?" You know. But I don't know. I mean, you know, does it mean that I'm scared and I don't want to go where He wants me to go? Where does He want me to go? You know?
Well, not everybody can have that tenacity, to just believe there's power in the name of Jesus.
Yeah.
We were talking about that in one of the in the Bible study, not the youth Bible study, but the one from church. Because what do you call that? Ernie was talking about demonic activities and everything. So by the time we did the breakup, it's like I told everybody, because the question is like, how come we don't see, is there any activity still? It's like, oh yeah, there's still activity, because lying is rampant and people's lives are being destroyed. It's rampant, so demonic activity is still there. It's like, how come we don't see deliverance ministries happening in the church? That says, I don't think we're ready for it.
Yeah.
I personally, and then Sarah was like, well, I'm asking God not to show it because I'm afraid. It's like, that's true, but you know its existence, but you know the church hasn't been a place where, you know, if you have bondage, you go to church and the church will help you, you know, to be free. It's not. And I said, you know what? Because we're not operating yet in the spirit. All I know is that when people operate in the spirit, when the church operates, these things follow.
Yeah.
You know? But if you don't operate in the spirit, it doesn't show up.
Huh.
It just show up in physical sense, but it doesn't show up like in that very strong, you know, like a showdown. But I told him, it's like, but we have to face it one of these days, because where can they go if we don't face it? All I know is that when I experience, you know, like horror movie, you know, style, all I know is that I felt strong. I felt, you know, at that moment when I had to face an evil spirit or like an evil presence, I remember being brave. I don't remember being bad or being like, like I didn't buckle. Now I look back, it's like, where did that came from? All I know is like I'm still afraid to see one, but during the time, you know, when I got visited in my dorm room, I'm like, oh yeah, how dare you wake me up? You know, it's like, where did that come from?
What do you want